hotel window. When you called me this morning, he says, take a look, it's raining, it's storming.
Home early, but not.
Exactly, but the wind has dropped, the sun is out. I would say it's in the low 70s, very, very mild humidity, and good wind conditions now for the finals.
Kent Steffes going to receive the first serve, and he puts it straight down. Kent Steffes wearing a white hat, a gray tank top, and black trunks. He has 45 open wins. He turned 25 last week. He also graduated from UCLA last week, so Kent Steffes is indeed a college graduate, as Akatabi and Hovland struggling on the first play. Kent goes over on 2, 1-0, Steffes Karai.
Good side, bad side was such a big factor earlier on and was certainly a factor at the start of our semi-final match, but not so now. The side pretty well even, but Hovland and Akatabi having some problems receiving serve, creating a free ball opportunity. This is a smart play. Karai gets low, passes the ball, and Steffes just goes quickly on 2.
Ace.
And then we got the husband and wife right up the middle.
2 serving 1. 2 serving 0.
2-0, Karai and Steffes out early.
Here's the serve coming right up the middle. Ak and Hov, no communication. This is the hubby-wife area right up the middle.
Hit the ball.
Looks like another point coming. Oh, look at Akatabi. 2 great plays by Akatabi.
Hov and Ak got to save this play right here. Karai and Steffes off.
Look out! Steffes booms it. It's now 3-0.
Hovland and Akatabi ought to take a 20-second timeout right here. Very important that they get off to a good start, and they've gotten off to a horrible start, and not because they're playing badly. Karai and Steffes, remember the revenge factor. Whenever they lose a tournament, they come back and play with a lot of extra added incentive if they need any.
20-second timeout taken by Hov and Ak. Kent Steffes won his first tournament back in 1989 with John Stevenson, who is now the AVP president. That was the $100,000 Seal Beach Open. Since then, Steffes has racked up 45 victories, 35 tournament wins with Karch Karai. 3-0.
Can't sit there, man. Line. Here, set the ball. Okay.
Looking for 4-0.
Here it is. Over here.
Steffes, and he gets another one.
You notice how much more, and I think better, Karai and Steffes are communicating during the plays. We've criticized them for not talking enough to one another. But here they're talking, it's right there, a lot of encouragement to one another, and Karai with an excellent call directing Steffes for the point scoring opportunity.
Things spinning Karai and Steffes' way so far, 4-0 as the serve goes right into the bottom of the net. And so Tim Hovland will serve. Born in Los Angeles, now lives in El Segundo, California. He's 5th on the all-time list behind Smith, Stoklos, Karai, and Van Hagen. Steffes got it. Kent Steffes looks like he's jumping very, very well. Consistency of the sand is tough to jump. It's soft out there.
Well, it's deep and it's soft. Same conditions we had in Seaside Heights, New Jersey just a couple of weeks ago. Karch Karai, now 32 years of age. Very, very strong. 68 career wins overall.
Yes. Good. And could be point number 5. Looking for Kent. And over him he goes. That's out of bounds. And Karai and Steffes come out with 5 quick unanswered points. They lead 5-zip here early.
Steffes won. Here's Hovland here. Akatabi is here, and they're completely out of sync. As we roll it, Karai and Steffes. Karai's at the net here. And then there's the little bit of a joust right here. Akatabi trying to cover Hovland here, giving a free ball opportunity to Karai and Steffes. Look at how they split and balance the court. And then come right back here, and there is no block. And then kaboom right here, and Akatabi and Hovland having all kinds of problems early on. They're down 5-0.
Karch Karai to serve, wearing the green trunks and the white tank, pink hat. Played his first volleyball game when he was 9 years old. It was Karch and his dad against 2 of Karch's dad's friends. Karch and his dad won it. Karch's first win as a 9-year-old.
Hey.
Boy, terrible play. A little jam, and Steffes is into the net.
Andy hit it. He said it, and he hit the ball. He said it, and he hit it.
He set that ball.
He set the ball first.
Several hits.
You hit it first.
He hit it first, I blocked him. Easy call.
I'm on this side. I saw the touch on this side.
Thank you.
Right, but who hit the ball? He hit the ball twice.
Ryan Steffes making an interesting point, but Hovland winning out.
He had the hand on the ball.
Let's listen again, and then we'll explain
You had
it.
the hand on the ball. Ken, the ball was coming over. You
know what? It was, but
Jim.
No, but you had
Even
the
if
hand
it's
on the ball.
simultaneous, then it's a double hit.
I'm saying he had it on
Okay,
the
we're asking.
All right, he had his hand on the ball first, and then Hobb came up and
All right,
blocked it
that's
with
what we
two.
were asking you.
Okay.
You saw him hit it first, clearly.
Ken.
Right.
See, Hovland bump sets the ball, and then Hovland goes back up. That's not the right play. We'll cue it up for you later on if we can. Hovland bump sets the ball, and then he realizes his mistake, goes up and jousts. And I think Leonard made the right call. It looked like Steffes did contact the ball first.
Hovland pleading his case because he knew he was on the borderline right there. 5-0 is our score. Karai and Steffes off to a strong start here in our championship final.
Come on, come on.
Akatami and Hovland look awful so far. They're just shanking the ball. They don't look smooth, Paul.
Well, they had to get off to a good start. They did not do that. Now they need to settle down, that they're on the good side, breeze down significantly, but certainly not calm conditions. They got to start passing the ball, and Akatami needs a couple of aces this trip through the good side to get them established.
Tim Hovland, black hat, black shirt, trailing 5-0.
You're good.
All right.
That's exactly how you want to pass and set the volleyball if you're a youngster.
Well, if you want to be able to do it that way, a couple of hundred times on Saturday, a couple of hundred more times on Sunday, and you'll be right where Karai and Steffes are most of the time, and that's winning tournaments.
Karch with a 5-zip lead.
Good, Eric.
Good pass there.
Angle, angle. Come on.
Nope, Karch is there on the line.
What?
And Hovland blocks Karch, who tried to sneak it by down the line, and Hobb is into it.
Well, Hovland and Karai know each other very, very well. Hobb knows that on the tight sets, Karai's going to try to slice line. It looked like Karch changed his mind right here. He takes a look at Hovland. I think he's thinking angle right there, tries to bait Hovland into it, but Hobb just hangs the big paw out in the line.
Key for Akatami Hovland, the serving of Akatami right there.
Nice shot.
Nice set and nice shot.
And Steffes, the floater to the corner.
And so Steffes will have the ball.
5-0.
31st time in 36 tournaments. He has been very, very consistent this year.
Good, good. Come here. Angle.
Nice dig. Oh, and Karch could not get off the net.
Applying the tattoo.
Hovland and Akatami starting to settle down just a little bit.
Side out.
And Hobb visiting with Scott Akatami, who we've talked about an awful lot. Coming back through some tough times to get his body back in shape, get his mind back into the game, and playing very well, obviously.
Go, go.
Pretty good serve.
Cut, cut, cut.
And Ack has the dig, looking for a point.
Line.
Ack.
Out.
No, he missed it.
Just
And
long.
Hovland thought about tearing off the tank top, but he only got it up just to the chest plate.
Well, he told me he's got a 4-pack, so
Right.
that means he's got 3 left. First good opportunity to score. Akatami with a good read down the line. You know, a hittable ball maybe 4 or 5 feet off the net, and Ack just trying to do too much with it down the middle.
Line.
And Akatami thunders it through. So Scott Akatami, he also learned beach volleyball at a very young age. His uncle, Matt Gage, taught him how to play volleyball at 6. Now 28 years old. First win in Santa Cruz, his last win in Fort Worth. We've detailed the party problems he has had. He was drinking too much and not taking care of his body, and his body rejected that thing. But now he's back on tour and he looks better than ever. Steffes, Akatami with a dig. Karch has it. On the board coming up. Looking for point number 1. And Ack gets it.
Easy point scoring opportunity. Karai just lobbed the ball right to Scott Akatami. Obviously was trying to slice it off down the line. This is where the problem starts. Karch was trying to slice the ball very sharp angle and just hit the ball right to Scott Akatami for the easy score.
There is some concern about Karai when he digs a ball on a scoring play, him not swinging for points. He does tend to cuff it around just a bit, and there are those that would like to see him get up and swing on those off plays and take more of a blast at it.
I think when when his team is playing well, he's more aggressive on those plays. You wouldn't know it by that last example, but if they're passing poorly and having some problems, he gets very, very conservative with the ball, just keeping it in play, hoping the opposition will make a mistake or he will have a chance to block a ball.
Hovland whacks it. Did anybody touch it? No. Point for Kent and Karch. Now 6-1.
Hovland and Akatubby had settled down a very important unforced error.
Crowd is quiet. Sunderland and Marlowe are quiet because Steffes and Karai are scoring.
Nice shot.
And scoring very fast. Now make it 7-1. We'll take a quick break. We're coming back to Ocean City and the Hov after this.
Coordination between hitter and blocker so important. Karai is here at the net blocking. He's going to take line. He's here. Steffes is going to move over into the angle. The ball is hit right to him, and then point scoring opportunity on the board for Karai and Steffes. Perfect example of the blocker taking the line area, and then the defensive player, Kent Steffes in this case, moving over into the cross court.
Karai and Steffes led 5-0. Ack and Hovland got a point. But then Karai and Steffes with 2 more, and that's where we stand right now, 7-1. Scott Akatubby, Tim Hovland trying to come back. Steffes and Karai look very, very smooth right now.
Yeah.
So here comes Hovland to serve.
You. Cut. Nice.
And Steffes whaps it off the top of the block.
Touch to the net. Side out Karai Steffes.
And so Karch Karai will have it at UCLA. Karch Karai studied biochemistry, and he was thinking about going to medical school before he discovered he was the best volleyball player in the world. Plenty of doctors around. He'll play volleyball.
Line. Come on.
Nice dig, but it's too far to the left.
Had an interesting conversation with Karch yesterday, and he surprised me when he said, you know, I might play until I'm 40 years old. I've got a new trainer who's really helping me with my flexibility and my injury prevention. And I always thought Karch would play until he was 34, 35, and then hang it up. But last night, he told me that he might play until he's 40 years old. He really likes this new trainer he's got and is thinking about playing for a long time.
7-1 is our score as protect a scar from the sun. He cut himself in March playing paintball. That's out in California. That's a war game where ordinary people dress up in combat gear and shoot weapons that fire paint. Chasing the enemy, slipped and fell into a ravine and cut his face on a rock. 10 stitches. So he's got to wear that Band-Aid basically the rest of the summer. So Steffes with the Band-Aid on his right cheek, and the intriguing part of the story that Michael Jackson's plastic surgeon did the repair work on Kent's face. I asked him how he did. He said, well, he did great, but now I'm losing my tan.
Good go.
You also told me that...
I told you a lot of things.
Yeah, the plastic surgeon was very conservative in that he was making Steffes wear that for 6 months. And I said, wait a minute, how in the world is Michael Jackson's plastic surgeon conservative? Teamwork once again. You got to cover, talk to one another, and then just call out open areas of the court. Karai and Steffes playing flawlessly now. Akatubby and Hovland only able to break through for 1 single score.
Akatubby and Karch is there. Can he put it away with a swing? Dink. Come on. And Ack is right there.
It's right on no one.
Yes.
And into the net. One of the conversion plays that Karai could have taken a swing at, chose to poke it over.
Steffes makes it 8-1.
And it's 8-1, and Akatubby and Hovland.
And this is the exact same kind of play you were alluding to. Sure, the set is a little bit close, but Karch could have done something more aggressively than just poke the ball. But that's a little bit his strategy. When you got a team down that's not controlling the ball well, as are Akatubby and Hovland now, what's the harm in giving them the ball? You might create a mistake, as they did there, and get the score anyway.
Karai just 2 wins away from 70. Only 2 players have ever had 70 wins. 13 wins back in '92, tied with Jim Mangus, who is now a tour director, and Greg Lee, who's now a teacher down in San Diego. 35 wins together for Karai and Steffes.
Hit line, no one. Come on.
Pretty nice dig by Karch, and Kent goes on 2 and scores. So Karai and Steffes, Paul Sunderland said it best early, they are trying to rebound in a fierce way, and they are out 9-1 on Ack and Hov. She will not get it, but she will witness it between Karch Karai, Kent Steffes, Scott Akatubby, and Tim Hovland. Right now, Kent Steffes getting the majority of the serves. as you see part of the scene here on the boardwalk in Ocean City, Maryland. It's turned out to be a beautiful day. Glad you're with us. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, the Kilowatt Steffes going to rack up another one.
Well, that's because his partner, Karch Kirai, has yet to receive a serve. Akitabi and Hovland trying to work on Kent Steffes in their side-out game. His passing has been flawless.
Akitabi jamming it out of bounds. So Scott Akitabi and Tim Hovland have just never gotten going, if you can say that. Never have gotten going. Is that correct?
You just did twice.
They're not playing well.
We can say almost.
They're behind 10-1. Karian Steffes got out 5-0. Ak got a point with a dig and a kill, and now 5 straight points for Karai and Steffes. It is 10-1.
Well, Hovland and Akitabi had to do 2 things. They had to side out well from the very beginning. They did not do that, and Scott Akitabi needed some aces to disrupt the side-out game of Karai and Steffes. That has not happened either.
So here comes Karch, 10-1. Langley guess to catch a plane, and he does. Steffes, and Karch will chase. Another chance for a point. Let's see if Karch takes a swing at it. He does, he whacks it. Oh, and Hovland pops it up. Here we go again, it's 10-1, looking for 11. Karch whacks to Ak, and Hovland bangs it out of bounds. It is just not happening for the Hob in this one. He's not sure whether to take his hat off, throw his sunglasses in the crowd, or rip his shirt off.
Great hustle by Tim Hovland. Players working hard, no matter how much effort you put out. Sometimes the results just are not there. And Karch swung hard at the first ball, but here's a conservative swing for point. Hit the ball right to Scott Akitabi. Hob goes for the jump bump, says, hey, we better try something, and this one still goes long. And Hob didn't even bother to tear that one out. Maybe he figures that this one is a foregone conclusion.
11-1. Hovland and Akitabi right there, trailing Karch in the pink hat, and Kent Steffes now make it 12-1. So the drilling taking place here. Karai and Steffes, after winning 5 tournaments in a row, had that streak broken last week by Brian Lewis and Randy Stoklos, who did not come to this tournament. Apparently, Randy Stoklos injured his back on Friday.
What is 1-1?
One sand, one
What is
full.
it? 1-1 like a free throw? Huh?
And Hovland screaming at the officials. And the yellow card issued by Jim Leonard.
Timeout.
And a timeout going to be taken by Tim Hovland.
Not basketball, it's volleyball.
Interestingly, I hear there's a match race going to come to be. Tim Hovland, the referee, Jim Leonard, and Kent Steffes have all agreed to put up $1,000 and race for 100 yards. Those 3 guys have the egos to think they are the fastest men on the beach. They're each going to put up $1,000. Hovland, Steffes, and the ref. Who do you like?
Well, I like Hovland or Steffes. I think Jim Leonard is letting his mouth do the talking and his money do the walking.
How fast can a referee be?
Well, Leo is a good athlete, good tennis player, good player out on the beach, and obviously feels he's got a chance. Otherwise, he wouldn't put up $1,000 of his own money unless he's got a sponsor.
Of course, when you're losing 12-1, obviously you have made the most unforced errors. We gave you that. And Akitabi bangs one that bounces into the crowd.
You know, we've talked about Akitabi and Hovland's inability to break through, but Kirai and Steffes are playing flawlessly, absolutely flawless. Kirai to the cross-court side, but just too good a shot. Hovland certainly knows there's plenty of time on the clock, but they have shown no ability to break through here.
Kent Steffes snaps one through. We talked about him being a college graduate. He graduated on June 15th. He said it took him 7 years. He should have had my doctorate by now. Of course, he went to Stanford for a year and then transferred to UCLA. He's been getting his degree. I congratulate Kent Steffes.
Absolutely.
It's not often that a professional goes back to college and gets his degree. Steffes with a dig, looking for a point, 12-1, and Karch dribbles it right into the bottom of the net. But Steffes did go back to college. He's making, what, $400,000 or $500,000 a year now. He didn't
more
have
like
to.
5, yeah, upwards over 5.
Yeah, 6 maybe.
Well, you know, Kent is an interesting person, outspoken, has a lot of opinions and not afraid to express them, and knows that he needs to have an education and go on and improve himself.
Hovland blocks Karch, and Hovland and Akitabi double their score.
Unfortunately, it goes from 1 to 2 instead of from
2 to
another
4.
alternative.
The only time you can do that in Pro Beach Volleyball Sunday.
Obviously so, or any other game for that matter.
Okay. And they're working on Karch again. Maybe Karch is the answer today.
Steffes was not the answer. That's certainly the case. Steffes to that point had received 10 serves, given up 1 point.
Hold on, Karch.
And Hovland trying to clear out a hole as Karch will serve.
Pass the ball.
12-2. Karayan Steffes lead.
Come on, push.
No, no.
On the line. Oh, Karch thought it was out. And the linesman in the far corner says yes.
Boy, just might have grazed the rope on the way out of bounds because the ball landed out of bounds.
This way, around the horn. Here.
Scott Akatabi serving. Hovland trying to talk it up just a bit.
You're good.
You know, you think this match is over, and it probably is, but Steffes and Karayan this summer have had some of the most colossal gags in the history of beach volleyball.
Well, remember in Clearwater, they were up 12-4 over Whitmarsh and Lewis, and Whitmarsh and Lewis came back to tie it. And
Phoenix up 6-1 in a game to 7, and they lost 7-6. Nice dig, Alligator out of bounds. Steffes was there, side out. So you just never know.
You got to keep playing. Who knows? Karch goes up to hit a ball. Hovland or Akatabi are up blocking. He comes down on their foot, has to stop playing because of injury, and obviously there are no substitutes. You just got to keep playing.
Tim Hovland to serve. 3-time world champion, Tim Hovland, 83, 85, and 86. Okay. And Steffes pounds it inside the block. Kind of an interesting story about the world championship. Hovland and Dodd won it in 83, 85, and 86. But they didn't win the majority of the tournaments. St. John Smith and Randy Stokos won most of the tournaments. And so the World Championship was discontinued because Smith and Stokos complained that how could Hovland and Dodd be the world champions? As Steffes blocks another one. How could they be the world champions if we win all the tournaments? So Smith and Stokos complained loud enough that they discontinued the World Championship. And now just the U.S. Championship. Karayan Steffes 13, Hovland Akatabi have 2. On hand, sun worshipers from all over the area have come to watch men's professional beach volleyball. In our championship final, it's been a rout. Karayan Steffes leading all the way. Karayan Steffes jumping out 5-0. Ak and Hov got a point. Karayan Steffes ran off 4 in a row to make it 9-1 on the side change. Karch with a dig. It is now 12-2 and 13-2, now 14-2. Can't even say the points fast enough to add them up for Karayan Steffes.
10 digs, 5 each for Karayan Steffes, and their defense has really dictated what's gone on here, and of course their ability to pass and set the ball inside out.
Championship point for Karch and Kent.
Over.
Trouble. And Hovland drops one back on the side of Steffes. So Scott Akatabi going to serve. Hovland and Akatabi, it appears, are going to finish second. Their best team finish of the year.
And once again, good to see Scott Akatabi back in the finals. He said after advancing that he didn't want to finish 3rd or 4th anymore. Well, he's going to finish 2nd here unless there's some sort of miracle.
Yes.
And he's clearly back in the mix. But Karayan Steffes have shut him out in this final in terms of aces.
Streaks have been the story in this one. 5 in a row to open it up, then 7 straight when it was 5-1 to make it 12-1. And now 14-2 as Tim Hovland will serve. And going with the lollipop.
Over.
And Steffes beans it straight down. No weakness today for Karayan Steffes. They've looked very, very good. Trying to add to their money total, trying to add to their tournament win total. 3rd championship point. Karch. Karch had the dig. Steffes! And the college graduate just 1 step short.
Well, I'm going to give him B for effort that time because he got off the net a little bit late. I don't think he felt that Karayan was going to get that ball and gave up early. Steffes got a very, very late start, otherwise could have gotten to this ball.
Now, if you're wondering if the match race between Kent Steffes, Tim Hovland, and Jim Leonard takes place on sand, no, it's on a track, $1,000 apiece. I want you to ask Steffes about that when you get down there, Paul, what he thinks about a match race. I mean, we've heard all, we always cited out we played good. Ask him about the match race and find out when's it going to take place and will we see it on Prime Network.
And is Don King the promoter?
That's
or
right.
Lou Duva?
How fast are you? Not very.
Used to be.
Yeah,
I
pretty
ran a
fast.
10-700 in high school.
I remember when you were trying to pick up the check, you ran very fast out of the building. This is a championship point here. Karchin Ken got it. Well, if you like to watch great volleyball on one side, you saw perfection, Karai and Steffes. And look at this. They're waiting for Ack to shake hands, and
No,
he doesn't.
already did. No, already did.
Okay,
Yeah, he came over first.
All right, Ack got there. Karai and Steffes win here in Ocean City, Maryland, 15.